chef, restaurateur, and Culinary Team Manitoba member MJ Feeke. MJ will be sharing culinary tips, techniques, and some of her favorite recipes. Today's recipe is slow-roasted local tomatoes in a creamy basil sauce.
I've got some great tomatoes from the garden. We have some green ones, and we've got some nice Romas that are really nice and red, and we've got some beefsteak tomatoes. And I'm going to be using all of these to roast. So what we're going to do is put them on a baking sheet, and I'm facing them the seated side up. We're going to put these in an oven and roast them at about 200 degrees. What I like to do to prepare them is I like to take canola oil and drizzle that onto them. The reason I like to use the canola oil is because it doesn't impart any other flavor to the tomatoes. So they have a really natural flavor that comes out. We all love garden tomatoes especially, and when we roast them this way, all that sweetness comes out and it's wonderful. I also like to use sea salt on them. I find that the sea salt not being iodized is a great choice, and it really brings out that natural flavor again. There we are, these are ready to go into the oven now. These have been roasted in the oven at 200 degrees for about 6 hours. You can see they've got a nice bit of gloss from the oil, they're really nice and moist still, and they have a real juiciness, and you can see they've got a really great looking flavor. So we're going to take these and we're going to julienne them for a really easy pasta dish today. I'm going to take some of my dried ones here and just cut them into some nice strips. So we've got about a cup of our tomatoes here now. There we are. And we're gonna put those aside, and we're going to get our pasta dish ready. So I'm just going to take and heat my pan, and I'm going to put a bit of oil in it. We're using some canola oil again. In this case, I'm using it because it's got such a great high smoke point. So we can put in about a tablespoon of our oil, and we can let the pan get really nice and hot before we put in the tomatoes. So we're just letting that heat up a little bit. You can see how the oil starts to thin out and spread nicely over the bottom of the pan. And then we know it's ready to go. Going to take our tomatoes and just put them into here. We've got a nice sizzle, so we know that we've got a good amount of heat there. And we're just going to toss them lightly. And we're going to add in about a 1/4 cup of whipping cream to it. Let that come to a nice simmer. And we're going to add in our pasta. Now this is a penne pasta that has been boiled and cooked till al dente. And then once I drain it, I like to just toss it with a little bit of the canola oil so that the noodles don't stick together. We're really just combining these ingredients to heat them. Looking really great there. You can see how the tomatoes kind of break down a little bit and work with the cream to become a really nice looking sauce. So we're going to take it and put it into our dish, and then we're going to garnish it with some fresh basil and some Parmesan cheese. There we go. We want to make sure those tomatoes are nicely on top there. That's looking wonderful. So to finish it with our basil, I like to take it and chiffonade it. So I'm going to take some leaves and I'm going to roll them up. We're going to use about 4 of them here. Some nice fresh basil. We roll them up just a little bit, and we're going to leave our ends off here and chop it. And this cut's called a chiffonade. We're going to just fluff that up a little bit and put it onto our dish. The aroma of the basil is just wonderful, and it really makes this plate come alive. There we are. And then we're going to finish off with some Parmesan cheese. And I like to just take a grater and grate some pieces onto it so that you've got some nice flavorful chunks of Parmesan, and it really will make your dish look nice and attractive as well. There we go. So we've got about 1 ounce of cheese there to finish it off. Now this is a lovely, healthy meal to start your winter season with, and enjoy.